Hey, this is the Launch One podcast. I'm Mason Springer. I'm here with Travis Johnson. Travis is a shooter. He's a bow hunter. And Travis, we're sitting here at deer camp right now in Ohio. You're from Michigan.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I'm glad it's late. We're sitting here. You're about ready to roll out, but got that last minute podcast in.
Yeah.
So you've hunted the last couple of days here in Ohio. Have you ever hunted in Ohio before?
This is my first time in Ohio.
Really? Okay. But then
been to Indiana and Illinois.
okay, and that's whitetail.
Whitetail. Yeah.
So up in Michigan, I guess when I picture Michigan, I picture smaller deer, which is typical for some parts of Michigan, like especially the UP and stuff like that. Where are you at in Michigan, and what is like deer?
I wouldn't say smaller deer, just the antlers just probably don't get as big, probably because we have more, so the antlers don't get as big because it's overpopulated.
Yeah, a lot of competition.
But body weight, we're still pushing that 200, 250 on the hoof deer. Mature bucks are around there.
Okay, so I know Brett was talking. He's always shooting does. Like that's a big thing. Is
because we got to eliminate some of the population because not a whole lot of people shoot does.
Yeah,
if you have a farm, you better shoot some of your does if you have too many deer.
Yeah, that's good to know. I know the deer population here, just from hearing stories from Dad, was a lot more here in Ohio some years ago, 20, 30 years, and it's gone downhill a little bit. And he thinks that it's increased, the maturity of the age class of deer and stuff like that. So it can help in ways like that. But
Yep, antler growth, I'm sure.
Plenty of nutrients throughout the winter. I know there's a lot of places down in like southern Ohio, big woods, where the only thing deer are eating are like green briars and I've even seen them where they'll gnaw on roots and stuff because there's just no food.
No food, 100%.
Yeah, so that's cool. So you've had the last couple of days. It's been a little bit chilly,
but nice. Yeah,
but yeah, not like bone chilling or anything like that. But
no, not like Michigan cold.
Yeah, it's been good. So you're in kind of a good pinch point travel location. They're traveling through a lot.
Yeah.
You've got those fields down there. How open are those fields?
Not very open. Not now. Mason planted some habitat blend, wildflower blend.
Yeah.
And so those grew up really tall, so when the deer are in there, you can't see, but nothing but like the does, you can't see just the heads.
Yeah. So if there's a deer standing like opposite end of the field from you, is it going to be able to see other deer down here? Is it going to have to come?
It's going to have to come look.
So that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. It thickened it up a lot in there, probably compared to what it was. I've never seen it before, but I'm sure it used to be.
Yeah.
It made a really nice hunt. Just didn't have any luck getting a buck, but I saw one that was a shoot buck, and so that was good. I mean, that's what you could ask for.
Yeah. So how you can see kind of long ways down that field. How far are you willing to take a shot on a whitetail?
Oh, with a whitetail, I don't personally would want to shoot one over 50, say. Just unless it's like circumstances are right to where there's enough wind and the deer is occupied enough to where it's not keyed in on you. Because as soon as they lock in on you, it's like it's over. I mean, you watch those videos where they put the line out on the deer's back and they shoot
and jump it,
and then the deer drops, a foot or.
I heard you guys talking about something there earlier. Fat Ohio deer versus other deer like skinny Texas deer. They drop faster.
Yeah. We were talking about just the smaller deer. They're a little bit. I think they're probably just more skittish. Probably.
Really?
That's what I think. I mean, just the videos you watch. I personally never hunted Texas, so I don't know. But, I mean, the videos of Texas, it's like those deer are always skittish. They're always ducking. They're always being hunted. I feel like that's why. Because I think probably ever since they were born, all they've been around is a corn pile. And no, they don't pile corn in Texas. They spread corn in Texas, but they're always waiting for an arrow to come flying by.
Yeah. So I know, like the deer around here, like there's always noises, dogs barking, mowers going, like people driving by, just walking their dogs, like
carrying on conversations.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much noise around here. And then like, there's still like, it seems like the deer don't mind it. Like I'll be sitting in my stand and there's a house maybe 150 yards away up the hill and maybe 200 yards. And like, we can hear people on the back porch partying some nights, having
Yeah.
carrying on a loud conversation, like I can understand what they're saying. That's how close I am. And there'll be just those hanging around, walking by, and they don't mind it a bit. Is that how it is in Michigan, or is that a little different?
You hear vehicles and dogs barking on the farm I hunt. I wouldn't say like too often. I mean, if a vehicle stops and, someone gets out and they're talking or whatever, you would, the deer would look,
Mm,
they'd wonder what's going on. But like here, if a vehicle stops and someone's talking, I mean, they, I don't think they really care. I mean, I heard multiple conversations and mowers and, nonstop vehicles.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, they're really used to stuff like that. But
yeah.
um, so bow setup. You're wearing the shirt right now.
Yep. I
You're a
got
tack shooter. We shot
tack,
a couple tacks
tack
together.
truck, shirt.
Yeah. So that's kind of a cool story. So you really kind of started a thing that I do every year now, which is shoot for the tack truck, which
Yep.
for anybody listening, 111-yard target. And I mean, the ring you got to hit is the size of a
Beer can.
beer can. Yeah. I mean, it's small, and you got to be inside out of the ring. So you can't be touching the line. This is at 111 yards. Most of the time it's uphill, and it's quite the feat to hit something like that. And when you hit it, you get entered to win a truck, and it's like decked out and wrapped. And I mean, it is like a killer rig. And I don't know how many years it's been, but you won a truck. How?
Yep. I won a truck in, I believe it was, and then 2019. I won 2 trucks. I've been lucky enough to
So that's
win 2 trucks.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I know the one that I saw, that was the Trophy Ridge one, right? The yellow black.
Yellow, black, Trophy
Yeah,
Ridge, it was Chevy.
that's a cool one.
Yep. The first one was a F-150, uh, Ford.
So I've thought about it, and it's pretty safe to say that that could be the biggest prize in archery.
I mean,
Like if you win Vegas, you don't win that much cash value. Maybe you do with contingency,
with contingency, I believe you do because it's 50 grand and then you get another.
100 maybe,
Yeah.
something like that. It depends on the shooter
Yeah,
sponsors,
Vegas is probably the biggest payout.
but this is pretty close though.
Yeah,
This is pretty
winning
close too.
trucks is cool.
So and you're a killer. You're a killer, right? Killer shot, and uh, like you really ignited that truck thing, right? I remember one time. I think when we first met, it was at Lancaster.
Yep.
It was the first time I had gone to Lancaster, and we sat there and we talked for like, man, it's
An
probably 2
hour.
hours. Yeah, an
Yeah,
hour,
that was
2 hours.
wild.
And we
Yeah.
talked about the truck and all this stuff and shooting. And you shoot the bowhunter class at Lancaster, which is cool. And you've been on the stage at
Well,
least once.
yep,
Yep. And you're always qualified like right up the top.
gotta shoot good.
Yeah. So that's really cool. But there's not very many target shooters, I'd say, that go to tack. Like when you and I go to tack, it seems like we kind of stand out. Everybody's like, whoa, this guy can hit the foam a couple times. Like to me, it's not
It
super impressive,
it's
but
it's definitely catching on to where I'd say within the last couple of years, more people are becoming to attack shoot prepared to shoot that distance instead of like before. Um, just go back, you know, 6 years or so, or 7 years when people they'd see the caribou target down there for the truck giveaway for the truck and not want to shoot it because they're not ready. They don't. It's too far. Their bow won't go that far. Their arrows won't go that far. So they're just like
yeah. And
um,
that's
intimidated by it. But now they're like actually practicing because I mean you practice a lot to get to where when you go to attack event and you're trying to qualify for the truck, when you actually have a chance.
yeah,
It's better than just going in blind.
yeah. And it's with, YouTube and all that. Tax really caught on. I've talked about it several times on this podcast already.
Yeah.
It's really catching on. It's a cool thing. But you've been doing it for years. Did you first start shooting?
Like my first tack, I was in a Carbon Express. That's an arrow manufacturer. I was in their booth. They didn't have anyone. So Carbon Express, I mean, I believe it's still in Michigan, but it used to be, they were bought out by Fairdyne, but it used to be just by itself, just Carbon Express, and they had their what do you call it? Just their headquarters in Michigan. So, they felt like they had to have someone be there representing, and somehow I got drawn to sit in the booth
Yeah.
and man it for the weekend. So that was early on in the TAC years. I think well, you got year 3 in Michigan. How about that? Not year 3 of TAC, year 3 in Michigan, or maybe it was year 2. One of the two,
Yeah.
whatever it was. But yeah,
Okay.
there wasn't very many booths back then. There was Boning was there, and Bat Badass Archery. I think that's what it is. The one that they've been to. I don't know if they were there this year or not, but they've
Yeah.
always been a staple in the TAC.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Badass. Yeah,
that's
pretty
interesting.
sure it was. But I mean, there was like 4 or 5 booths, and that was it back then. What do you say, like
Oh
50?
man.
50 vendors probably?
Yeah. Yeah. There's tons of vendors. So I couldn't even count them,
Yeah.
but
Mm,
yeah, it's definitely grown. So the truck that you won, it's got all the stuff on it. Have you taken it on hunting trips and stuff like that?
yep.
What do you?
Uh, so what the year that I won it, so back then you'd fly out, you'd have to fly to Idaho, or sorry, Utah, to our TAC headquarters and get it, and then I drove it back. But then when I got it back, my friend, he hopped in it and went to Colorado and took it on an elk hunt, just solo, just drove it out there and hunted with it. And then when it came back, then another friend hopped in it because his truck was not safe to be on the road. His wife was pregnant and they were going to tow a camper, and she had a tag for Iowa. So I let him use it. So they had a chance to make it back. And so it's been on those 2 hunts. And I've taken it to Kansas and Lancaster to the shoot. I've taken it there.
Do you put very many miles on it? Like how many miles does it have on it right now?
50,000 now. It came with 15,000.
So that's not too bad. Not driving it too heavy.
No, not too much. No,
Yeah,
not like my I'd say my daily driver. I do 25,000 a year on my daily driver.
a lot
Yeah.
less. Yeah, that's interesting. I know, like when you're walking through the parking lot, you know it's Travis when you see the truck.
It stands out a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. So, what species do you hunt? Whitetail, obviously,
Whitetail is probably
number one.
number one because it's the easiest. Because we're in the east of the Mississippi. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what we got. It's whitetails.
What about ducks? Do you ever duck hunt?
Not much of a duck hunter. I have once or twice, but not much of a duck hunter. Turkeys, I love on turkeys with a bow. That's probably one of
Yeah, turkeys is a good one.
my favorites. Yep.
I've been so the last 2 seasons I've taken the bow turkey hunting
Hmm.
and spring turkey, and I hunted like 4 or 5 weekends, like the whole time, and then during the week after school I'd run just right here close to the house, try to get a hunt in. And it's way harder with the bow, but
Yeah, and your dad was saying like you've been reaping because you're
yeah,
allowed to reap in Ohio. So in
yeah,
Michigan, no reaping's allowed.
really,
They don't want the DNR doesn't want you moving decoys. Michigan.
yeah, that's
Yeah, but in
interesting.
Ohio, your dad was saying you've been reaping, so that's fun.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's gotten me even close to these birds. I mean, I still haven't shot one yet, but
Yeah,
it's no easy feat. I don't know. I'd be blind hunting is what I'd be doing, which
yeah,
I don't necessarily like blind hunting because it's just kind of
mhm,
sit and put. I do enough of that with whitetail,
yeah, oh yeah,
but
yeah. It makes it. Yeah,
yeah, I enjoy the calling and the running around.
but I also mule deer is probably like my passion, but I haven't been in a few years. But love mule deer hunting. Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming. Haven't done any other states, but those, yeah, just mule deer hunting is so fun.
Yeah, that's so. What's like the format of a mule deer hunt that you go on? Use tree stand, spot and stalk.
Just spot and stalk. Just try to find them, put them to bed, and then slip in on them, and hopefully seal the deal.
Okay, nice. So right now, date is October 27.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've got a good front moving in here
I'm thinking
tomorrow.
maybe we should stay just hunt the morning and then bail.
Yeah, yeah,
It's probably a chance to get a buck in the morning.
yeah. It's gonna be hot. There's been some stuff moving
Because
out here
definitely
lately.
when I first got here on for Sunday morning hunt, it was slow. Sunday night, a little bit better. And then this morning was good. Was just one deer. I saw four corn, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, and that kinda goes back to the, population thing we're talking about, like, I know dad said he used to see 30 deer in a sit, and I doubt if I've seen more than 15 in my life, like, hunting all day.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's one thing nice about Ohio has going is less deer. They have more to eat, which means the antlers are gonna grow bigger. But there's a lot of hunting pressure here. I mean, there's you can tell on Sunday morning early, every vehicle on the road, they were going hunting.
Really?
Yep, because I mean, once I got down to the stand, I didn't hear a single vehicle the
Really?
rest of the morning until, it's like church time,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
8:30, 9 o'clock, and then you started hearing vehicles.
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never really paid attention to that, but yeah,
The deer are paying attention, so
yeah. That's good enough. So we went duck hunting here earlier with his son Rhett, and we hopped in the canoe and canoed down and um duck hunt. Today was the last day of season.
oh, I didn't know it was last day. Wow.
Yeah. And I found out last night I was back there hunting by myself. I was coming back and I saw some ducks up around the corner and it was not dark yet.
Mm.
And then I was getting close, I was maybe 100 yards out, and then, the thought popped in my head, wait, duck, you can't hunt until 30 minutes. Like you're done hunting at sunset when it comes to ducks, waterfowl
Yeah.
versus deer is 30 minutes after. So I'm like, oh man, I'm done. Yeah, I could have limited out there if we had was able to hunt. But yeah, so that's interesting. So you're a shooter, I'm a shooter. We shoot bows, arrows. What's your bow setup for hunting?
For hunting, I am shooting, let's see, I don't remember the year, but, probably like a 18. So it's a Hoyt Carbon Defiant, not a turbo or a spider. It's the Carbon Defiance. So
Is that faster bows, slower, smoother?
I'd say it's just like, you know, a standard honey bow.
Standard, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It was axle on it.
31, I believe.
Really? So
Yeah.
that's kind of surprising. So a lot of target guys like the longer
Longer.
axle, and I do like longer axle for hunting, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just looking for a bow that was light, and this is the only carbon bow that is actually lighter than there's so much carbon on all these carbon bows, they just weigh the same as their aluminum bows. But now we have Meg-Tite, if I'm saying it right. And that's
oh
right
yeah.
there with these older carbon bows for weight that Expedition has their line of Meg-Tite, and then the Truth, they had theirs, but I don't know what the deal is with the Truth because I tried to
Yeah.
get a Truth the other day and I couldn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It had something to do with the cam adjustment or something. I don't even know.
Who knows?
So what about arrows? Are you mechanical guy, fixed blade?
So I'm shooting a mechanical. I have some Rage in my quiver, and then I have some Mega Meats in my quiver, and I'm shooting a Black Eagle, one of their smaller diameter ones. So it'd be like a 4 mil.
Okay.
Yep. So it
Heck,
has an insert outsert to get the where you can put a screw in there.
yep.
Yeah. Like last year I was shooting the glue in, like I had the Levi Morgan long range screw in or glue in broadheads, and then I had the Evolution glue in broadheads, so no outsert, just glued in, and I really like those. Those were great.
So what broadhead are you shooting first?
First, I just would really like to shoot a buck with a Mega Mate because
Yeah.
the hole looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen the holes. Yeah. So, I remember one thing you said a couple years ago, when you telling me about the caribou is you gotta have good arrows, consistent arrows. So I know that you make sure that your arrows are like top. I have seen you were showing your fletchings around a little bit. They were, would you cut them off or something on the back?
Yep, I trim most of my fletchings.
Okay. And they're like
Custom
triangles
lines.
pretty much.
Yep,
Just a triangle
yep,
fletch.
yeah. So when you look at planes, planes are their back of their tail fin is always flat. You don't see them going back or like
Oh,
swooping too much. A plane is flat back, and
yeah.
their what do you call it? Whatever
Yeah. The
their
fin
tail
or
fin on the
something.
back is straight up and down, and like a dolphin is almost straight up and down,
Yeah. That's
kind
right.
of. A dolphin does have a little swoop, like a what's the vein? The fusion vein. Is it what you shoot? Fusion? Q2I.
Now Fusion's like a shield cut,
Yeah.
but I think Flex Fletch does have kind of a
Flex Fletch has that.
like a concave back.
Yep. Yeah, so that's like a dolphin. I mean, it's hard to beat engineers that, put more into it than
Yeah,
the archery company
yeah,
does.
that's a good point. So I do like that. So what I've heard though is if you look at a cross section of an airplane wing, the fat part is in the front, and then it kind of gets skinny towards the back side of it. If
Yeah,
you're looking at,
that's the wing, but is the rudder that way? The rudder is
I don't know
closer.
how the rudder is, but the way I picture it is if you're trying to get airflow across it. Now, of course, wings are built for lift too, but the fat part's in the front, and then it gets skinny and thinner at the back. I've seen guys that will flip their vanes backwards, and like they'll be shooting a parabolic, and they'll have it backwards. So the pointy end of the vane is actually towards the knock end of the shaft. And I've never tried it.
Never tried it either.
But I guess the theory behind it is it helps stabilize some of that turbulence coming off the back of the vane. But that's interesting. But I never thought about how you're saying about the tail fin, because that's just
Yeah.
a flat back on it. It doesn't swoop or do none of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm sure somebody's done some testing on it. Well, Easton came out with some arrow test here.
Black Vein just released their new veins after that Easton thing, and they have a flat back.
Really?
They have two new veins, like
So tack vanes, they kind of came back and then down at an angle.
Yeah.
They got one down straight
almost
now.
straight down now. It's
Okay.
not quite, but it's close to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I haven't really looked at the results of that Easton test very much. Have you? I know they
No.
came out with the Flex Fletch, like FFPs or something, were really good for.
But you can't beat that. They were right there.
Yeah, there's several of them that were right there close.
Mm.
But yeah, that's interesting. Another thing to keep in mind, I learned this decibels. So they rate different things in decibels, like how loud it is flying through the air. Decibels, from what I've heard, is if you've got a fletching that shoots, and it makes a 60 decibel sound, and you've got one that's 70 decibels, a 10 decibel difference is supposed to be perceived as double the volume. So if you've got a 60 decibel arrow flying by it and a 70, I guess a 70 sounds twice as loud as 60. So when you're looking at those
Good
numbers,
reason they cut the back of your veins, because then there's less vein and it's quieter.
yeah, yeah,
That's my theory too.
yeah. I don't know.
Less is more.
That's a good point. And it'd be interesting to go and like, I don't know, put up a wall or something and stand behind it, and then have somebody like shoot past you and just listen.
And that's what we used to do with blazers. Is when I was cutting blazers in half, not necessarily in half, but just the high point of the blazer, just cut it to where it's flat back.
Yeah.
They were quieter than the regular blazer that had the big teardrop in the back. Now with heat veins, just cut those off at the high point, and they seem quieter.
Yeah. I wonder what if you I had the vein going back like dolphin fin, like you're talking about, concave cut on the back versus straight back.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of manufacturers that do that. I feel like a few of them, anyways.
Really? I don't know. I don't know enough. I guess
It's just easier to cut straight for me.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why I do it.
That's cool. So what's your indoor arrow setup?
I like shooting the 27-12.
Yep.
Yep, the
aluminums.
Easton 27-12. Yep, the big one.
How about veins for that?
It's like have like the lightning, the crossbolt vein. I like that one.
Okay. And that's
Yeah.
like is that a 4-inch, 3-inch?
A 4-inch. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
3.75 or 4-inch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right in that area. Yeah. That's what I shoot. I think I'm going to shoot 4 inches, probably a parabolic.
Something with a little lower profile, because those shafts are so fat. You don't want to have too much vein sticking up. I know some guys, they'll run like a big high profile vein. I don't know. Then you got to powder your rust and all that stuff and try to just
Yeah.
get your clearance just right and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. And um, seems like I was checking for clearance, and the veins I've got on there now are somewhat high point, and I'm not having any contact issues with them, so I should be good. But these ones are like the highest point vein that Q2I makes in a 4-inch model, so it's like the biggest surface area I could find.
Yeah.
And it's like
They look really good though when I was checking them out. They don't seem too high.
those black ones, or were you looking at the
Oh,
yellow
I was
ones?
looking at the yellow ones.
The yellow ones, yeah. So I got black ones, and they're down on other arrows down there. They are high. They stick off, especially with 27s. But
Okay.
I guess I can orient it, make it work. But yeah, that's interesting. So you shoot a lot of indoor stuff. And I guess you said you just started here in the barn the other day, or was that yesterday?
Yeah,
Shooting
yep,
a little
I
bit.
brought my it's my tack bow, basically. I bought a Darton for tack this summer, and then, I'm gonna see how it does for indoors for
So it won
September.
Lancaster last year.
Yeah,
Jacob Sujars
yeah, the 35, help me out,
sequel.
sequel,
Say
yep,
that. Okay. Yeah, sequel. So I really do like the shape of the riser. I think it just looks really cool, full draw. I think
yeah,
it's a cool looking bow.
yeah,
Um,
it's a fun bow to shoot, yeah. Easy to tune, yeah, fun bow to shoot.
yeah,
It weighs enough to where it just holds itself still.
you're a light bow guy. You like
Yeah,
lightweight.
I like my bows heavy without any weight on them.
Okay.
I like a heavy bow for target.
Yeah.
Yep. If I
Yeah.
have to, I'll put a little weight behind, right below my hand on the backside of the riser.
But yeah,
That's about
you
it.
don't run the kicker bar or any of that.
Yeah, just more stuff to get in the way when someone's kicking their feet around on the floor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. And the scores you put down with a single front stabilizer, that's kind of crazy. I don't know if
Uh,
I do like, I will say, when I put on my short stabilizers for tack, um, I feel like I can shoot just as good with those as I can the longbow. Like
yeah.
for me, it doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of difference. Of course, I've got 5 times as much weight on the short bars as you do.
Yep, I see that, yeah.
And I mean, I can shoot lightweight bows, and I like to see that little bit of pin jitter, but I don't know. It seems like I shoot so much that my muscles can just handle a little bit more weight. But even at that, I do.
My theory is no weight on my bow means I can shoot that much longer in my life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's my theory.
Yeah, I know Dad doesn't shoot hardly any weight. He'll have like he had a 38-inch front stabilizer made. So it is like it's longer than you can buy,
Yeah,
and he's got like 1 ounce on the front, and then
yeah,
I think he's got 2 ounces on his 19-inch back bar.
that's all, yeah.
It's kind of funny, but it works for him, I guess. Um, that's cool. So indoor season, we got the ATA show coming up. Then that's combined with the Rushmore. Is that our first shoot?
Well, I'm trying to talk you into going to the holiday 660 in South Bend, Indiana,
Yeah,
and there's a cash prize there for, well, I think they'll pay however many people. What is it? 1 for 3, I think they pay, but there's guaranteed $1,500 cash for the first place guy.
yeah. And you said that was beginning of December,
Yeah, it's like, 2nd week in December, I believe.
second weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like hitting shoots like that.
And they also have a nostalgia shoot there, and he's got a nostalgia bow all set up. So
Yeah,
that just means, 90, 99 and older, I believe that's what they're calling it.
really.
And, like, the sight and the stabilizers, the rest, they want it all to be older. But I think new arrows are fine. I mean, why not have new arrows if be safer? Have new
Yeah.
arrows.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. We've got a bunch of old arrows, but I don't know if I've got more than 3 that match.
Ha, you gotta have matching arrows.
So the bow that I was shooting, and actually I just made I posted a video of me shooting it
Oh, okay.
yesterday, so that would have been
So people
Sunday.
can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like fingers. It's a compound bow. This might seem crazy to all the young people out there like myself, but it's a compound bow. You shoot it with your fingers though. So you got a tab and fingers, and then it's got a clicker on it, like Olympic recurve style. Nobody really shoots that style anymore. It faded
But
out.
also a sight, he has a freestyle sight on it.
Yeah, so it's a compound bow that you just don't have a release pretty much, and then it's got a
Yeah.
clicker on it. And I think I shoot it every once in a while because it like for me it just brings me right back to the
Yep.
fundamentals. Just
Of that pull and push.
the bow the bow shakes so much that like there's no control in the pin no matter how hard you try. And so it's just let it shake. And then I mean the only way to get this bow to hit the middle is to make a
To
perfect shot.
shake him in the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Shake them in the middle.
Can't forget
And
that. You gotta shake him in the middle.
I think that this is one of the best training tools I've got. Like we had Rhett shoot it the other day.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'll shoot that bow. I remember this last winter, I shot it for like a week. I didn't shoot my regular compound. I shot this thing fingers and I can barely keep it in the yellow on a Vegas face. But like I'm shooting it and it's like draw back and you got to make a quick shot. You know, if you're back there lingering, bad things can happen. You just got to get on there and shake it. And what'd you say?
Shake it in the middle.
Shake
That's
it in the
what you
middle.
gotta
That's
do.
right.
Shake in the middle.
So you just got to shake them in the middle. And it seems like whenever I pick up the regular compound bow, my form just feels a lot more solid. I think I have to work harder to get good form with that fingers bow.
Makes a lot of sense.
And then
Yeah.
having good form seems easier when I get the new compound bow. And then it's like, it seems like shots break so much easier with the new bow after shooting that old bow, because you got to work hard to make that shot go off, because you got to pull through that clicker. But it just makes that bow seem so much easier. And I think it's a great way to practice target panic. Like the next best thing would probably be a resistance release, because again, you have to pull to get through it. But honestly, I like this thing. Like if you've got target panic really bad, I think that fingers and a clicker is a good place to be.
No, it makes sense.
But yeah, so I've known guys that had target panic so bad that I'll set up this clicker bow for them just to shoot it, and they'll be able to group better with this finger and clicker bow than they can through.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad the target panic is.
Probably helps because you're thinking about everything else but trying to put that arrow in the middle.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, just after shooting that and programming your brain to where, yeah, it's okay to see that shake, I think that switching back to that other bow is helpful.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, so one thing, and actually I was talking to you. So when I look at people shoot, and I look at a bunch of different things like in their form and stuff. And um, I've watched hours and hours of videos of different people shooting compound recurve, all these different disciplines. Um, I've found that a lot of recurve shooters, their form is very consistent from archer to archer. Compound, there's a little bit broader
There's a
variation.
big variance in compound shooters for sure.
And like you've got guys like Mike Slosher, you know, who's world #1 for a long time, and then you've got
Still is, yeah.
his form, which is like way leaned back and stuff like this, and then you've got
Slushar.
Slushars, who's quite the opposite. He's
Way up.
He's way up.
Everything's real high.
Yeah, and he's
Even
right
that
on it.
shoulder's high.
Yeah,
Well, I think this shoulder's low, just the shoulder's
just that
high.
shoulder's high. Yeah,
But as everything's locked in for him, which is different than like Slosher.
yeah, and that shows that a lot of form can be different. Like your form's a lot different than mine. You lean back a little bit more than me. I think the number one thing that I saw yesterday was like you were holding it really steady. Like your bow was not moving, even with like the 4 ounces or whatever you got on the front. It was not moving. But the only thing I saw was like, and Dad, and I only know to look for this because Dad would sit there and watch me shoot for hours, and he'd look at the tip of my arrow when I'm shooting. And I remember at one point, like I would get back there and I'd draw and get to anchor, and then I would be leaning forward as the shot goes off. My arrow point would just be creeping closer and closer to target. And that was a really weird phase I went through for a couple of days. I finally got that fixed. But after that, I kind of realized that like forward and back movement is something that you really don't see. Like you can be moving forward and back, but you don't see it on your pin. But you're still like compensating it for it no matter what. Any movement you're going to be compensating for in your pin. So I started looking at that where I found out that having a steady base makes a lot more difference than I had previously thought. And I think I talked about this in one of the Bullseyes at the Buckeye series videos this summer. I was doing that on Instagram, and I was giving out some tips and stuff. And I was talking footwear and kind of stance in the bottom and the core. And footwear is huge. You're wearing a pair of Ultras right now. So Ultras, they're kind of known for being a flat foot shoe, 0 drop. So you don't have a heel on it. And that it basically gets you closer to the ground, more contact, easier there. I guess it helps to line up some muscles up your legs. That's what I was told by people smarter than me. So
yeah, no, that makes sense.
But it does something there. And I definitely feel it. Like I got a pair of those 0 drops. They were Nikes, are the ones that I got. But they, you feel different after walking around them for a while. Like your calves definitely stretch out a little bit more, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me. But you're closer to the ground. So I always shoot in a thin shoe. I've got these Crocs on right now, and you can kind of see I've worn most of the tread off, so they're pretty thin. And I can shoot in these pretty well.
The Bodie Turner special right there.
Yeah, that's right. I guess he shot in these for a while too.
Yeah.
But so footwear is important, and then stance. So I first noticed your foot placement when you're on the stage at Lancaster a couple years ago, and it's like your heels are very close together, and that's something I noticed. And I shot like that for a long time. I always used to have the heels closer together because it felt like for me when I'm leaning back just a little bit, like because I shot leaning back. I tried it for a while, and it felt a lot easier to lean back a little bit when my feet were closer together. It felt more comfortable that way. And so that's how I shot for a long time. And then one day I'm just like, I'm going to try spreading out my feet more. Because if you look at a lot of the recurve guys,
They're way out.
they're way out.
And even the new guys and girls, I'd say probably more girls, the ones that are trained by professional trainers.
Yeah.
They're spread out to get
And
a better stance, more stable stance.
yes, that's what I did. And initially it was kind of hard to adapt to. I
Yeah.
really didn't like it at first. It just felt uncomfortable. But once I started doing it, it got better and better. And I started seeing that like forward and back movement go away and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I'm looking for. And just the feet. And then you can mess with like feet angle for the camera, like playing, how open your stance is and stuff like that. I tend to be pretty neutral, but that's something you just have to play with for yourself. So that also affects like your pelvis. Like if you're standing there right now, listen to this, like stand up and move your feet out and then move them in. And you can kind of feel your pelvis wants to tilt forward or back either way. So I've played with that.
Makes a lot of sense.
I remember we were talking yesterday about muscles, they're more efficient when they're shorter. So if I'm trying to curl, I can curl more weight up here than I can down here because my bicep is shorter in length there. So more efficient. Same thing with your abdomen muscles and different muscles like that. And that's what I watch for in my form. But I don't know, did you?
Yeah, so he helped me greatly point out those key little factors. I was shooting for score when we are in here practicing, and so I was just gonna shoot 30 arrows, and my last 3 ends, I was able to clean it up after he coached me through it,
Really?
and I got, 3 X's for 3 ends. Yeah.
That's good. That's
So
good
that
to
was
hear.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Improved.
um, yeah, that's good to hear that work.
Yeah, but
Perfect.
a nice start to the practice season. You got, 300. That's what Vegas 300. So everyone's
Yeah.
gunning for that.
Going for, yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to shoot some 300s. Hopefully I can do a competition here. I haven't shot a competition since probably the Buckeye, which was mid-July. So
Yeah, a while ago then.
it's been a while for me.
Yeah, well, it's hunting season now. So
Yeah.
speaking of hunting season, you show everyone your buck. He just got his buck.
Oh
too.
yeah, up here on the wall. If
Check
you're
it
watching
out.
the video,
Yep.
yeah, we just got the Mount Euro back here the other day. So that's cool. I'll probably get a close up clip of that or something to
Just
show.
do a video of that.
And we got this new podcast area too. So
This is nice.
what's really cool is like all these rocks back here on the wall. If you're watching this, I guess Dad got most of them, but he went out and collected these rocks out of rivers and different stuff. And
Idaho?
no, actually here in Ohio, I think Licking County, where the glaciers came down
Oh, okay.
and brought a bunch of these cool rocks, and then some of them are from Michigan too.
There we go. Michigan rocks.
Yeah, so we got some cool rocks back here. Got the furnace. We don't have it piped up yet. We'll get a pipe and we'll get it working here.
That'll be gas.
No wood.
Wood. Oh
burn.
yeah, that'd be even better. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. That's what these are for.
Yep. Air in and these things are nice in the winter.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, wood stoves.
that'd be good.
We got some antlers and stuff hanging up in here, and it's looking good now. So we got a cool place to do a in-person podcast now.
That's right.
I was just like crammed up against the wall here for a while, most of my podcasts. Yeah, so we got kind of a cool location now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty slick.
So let me hear about your lip. What happened to your lip?
Oh yeah, so I don't know if the camera can see this.
I
It's gotten
can't see it anymore. It disappeared.
it's gotten better the last couple of days, but the other day I was shooting and I was shooting a thumb button. I feel like I was playing with the trigger or something, and I decided to draw it back with my thumb on the trigger, and that didn't go very good.
Yeah,
So
popped, yeah.
I got about halfway back, like I was at the peak weight, 60 pounds or whatever, and just wham, popped me right in the lip. And
Ouch.
oh, it's swollen up, and I can't believe I've been able to talk this long because it like hurts. It like it busted.
Well, a good thing we waited to do the podcast now compared to when I first got here. Because when I first got here, you could see it. It was all swollen and black and blue still. Now it's
Yeah,
looking better.
and it's like it's black and blue inside and out. Like
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah,
But
you really got hit. You're lucky you didn't lose like a tooth.
I know. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was full force sim and arrow flying, and
Mm.
yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, so lip, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm glad you survived.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
survived it.
lessons learned though, don't put your finger on the trigger when you're pulling her back.
Yeah, yeah. Which so there's a good point. What release do you hunt with?
I'm shooting the hold on a second. Soul stacks.
So
Help me
is it
out get it. With
so I've always hunted with an index trigger.
yeah, index trigger, that's what I'm using, yeah.
Index trigger has always seemed to be the most convenient for me. I can't lose it. I can't drop it.
Yep, it stays there, you can fold it out of the
On my
way.
hand,
It goes
it's easy to keep my finger behind the trigger.
it's quick to hook on there.
Yeah, that's right.
You can do it in the dark, because that's what I ran into blind hunting with the hinge. It's like you start looking at the deer and you start trying to mess around and you can't see where your
yeah.
loop is and get the hinge right on there.
So
So the index is definitely easier for me to get on there.
so now we're also lucky enough to not have like intense target panic, but a lot of guys can't shoot the index for
Yeah,
target
they
panic
can't even
reasons.
get their fingers close to it.
But if you can shoot an index, I would much rather choose that over a thumb button just because I feel like for me, thumb buttons, if I'm wearing heavy clothes like winter hunting, the trigger's like right by my collar. And I feel like I'm always gonna bump it, and I don't know. I don't think I could hunt with it.
Personally, I can't shoot a thumb button for hunting because all I do is shoot a hinge for um, target, and if I have to let down, my instinct is to grab the peg when I let down.
Oh,
And so if I'm shooting a thumb, I just grab the thumb and it goes off.
oh yeah,
And I've done that once or twice. So I was done with the thumb because
yeah.
everyone's like, oh yeah, it's nice because you just can hook them right onto your D loop and they just hang there, and then you're always ready to go to get your bow back.
And
I can't do that because I shoot a hinge too much.
for me, the most accurate release I've shot for, and I think accurate is a good choice of words for me, but the most accurate release I've shot for like target stuff is a thumb. That's what I've been most accurate with. Seems like for me, I can't get over the idea that a wrist strap, I feel like it would seat on your wrist differently every shot. I feel like there's a little bit of,
Well, that's when you got to become the hammer and just strap that thing around your elbow.
that's
Then you
right.
know it stays in the same spot every time.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I haven't really played with enough, but for me, it seems like a thumb button might be the most consistent.
Yeah,
Probably,
for most people it is. They can push them in the middle.
but yeah, that's good to know. So yeah, glad we brought that up. So hunt releases, sight. What about your sight? What do you hunt with?
For hunting, I have like the older. It's like before they came out with this new nail driver. Is that what they call? What they call this nail
I think it's just driver.
driver? Yeah, it was before that one. It was just
It's a slider.
yep, yep.
Does it have multiple pins? One pin?
One pin, just one up pin. Then I just have some little hash marks underneath it to where I can. It acts like a 5 pin kind of.
Okay, so when you're in the stand, you don't really move it,
If the deer's standing there, I can. Yeah.
really. So I've always been scared to shoot like a one pin or a two pin for
Yeah.
hunting because I feel like I would forget to move it or I just wouldn't have time to move it. Have you run into any situations like that or?
Yeah, there's always situations like that, it seems like, but, you just gotta practice more and become more familiar with the equipment and don't change like your old man to where you just shoot the same
Yeah.
setup for 20 years, so you're good.
Yeah. So what do you think about like a 5 pin? Is that too crowded for you? Can't see well enough or?
No, just out west, I like to have 1 pin because it seems like most of the time you got enough time to range and dial
Yeah.
and shoot, so I just like to shoot the single up pin. Like I said, on that up pin, I just have a couple of hash marks, then I have, top of my bubble is 60, and so
Yeah.
I got all my pins right there.
Yeah. So you're dialed in. What kind of speeds are you shooting?
It's definitely under 300. I don't I'm shooting a 400 grain arrow at 70 pounds, 29 and a half. So it's like that 283-ish,
Mhm. And
probably 287, somewhere in there.
so you're shooting the fire knocks, right?
Nope, these are gold tip.
Like the gold tip's better for hunting or hit
It's
both?
just what fit my string.
Yeah. Yeah, fire nocks are pretty tight.
Yeah, they're a little bit tighter. So you have to either reserve or have your string built for. I like to have my strings built for the knock that I like to use, really.
Yeah,
But just with this setup, tip knock, a little short
yeah.
throat.
So, what I look at nocks, and I really only know 2 brands of nocks, and that's, one is Fire Knock, the other is, AAE, and AAE makes the Easton nocks too, so they're one and
Mm-hmm.
the same. Um, those are really I think those are really 2 solid nocks. Of course, you got biters too, and those are really nice, but I really don't know a whole lot about and the bonings and those.
Yeah. Um, Gold tip has a lot of knocks, but remember, biter makes the best knock. But definitely, make sure they fit your string
Uh,
properly.
that's a
Knock pinch is the most crucial thing to your setup besides a tuned arrow. Is
yeah, and you can
you start with your knock pinch first when you're tuning an arrow. I feel like
so shooting 111 yards, how are you tuning your setup?
group tuning. I just have lots of arrows and
And you're just manually out
just
there
shooting
shooting
them at 100 yards and just seeing what group's the best. And
and you're tweaking your rest or something, or
poundage usually,
really? Okay, see,
because my bow, my picture, your bow is tuned to where it's like in spec or whatever,
it's
and
like
then I'm just trying to tune arrows to my bow, so I'm just doing poundage instead of increasing or decreasing tip weights.
so you're making your, spine, like, a little bit weaker, a little bit stiffer by doing that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. So just shoot a couple groups where you want to start with for poundage, and then turn your poundage down and see if your group improves. And then you can go past your starting point and shoot a couple groups there and see. And just I like to just do a measurement and see what group, or fresh paper. Really, fresh paper is probably the best. So you can write on it to where you have your neutral point, less poundage, and then fresh paper for more poundage, and just compare the three,
yeah.
see what has the best tolerance.
So one thing that I am definitely not an expert on and probably not very good at is, like, I can get a bow aiming really well. I'm good at getting a bow to aim well,
Yeah.
but I'm not very like super dialed in on how to get an arrow tuned perfectly. Like I've never done the group tuning. I have done knock tuning. Um, Sounds like you know what you're talking about. What's your first step? Like you got a bow, you just put a rest on it, set it to center shot. Are you moving the cams first, paper tune and bear shot?
Definitely do a paper tune to see, making sure the arrow's coming out somewhat straight. They don't have to be perfect. Little knock eye into the right is probably my favorite
Right-handed shooter. You're right-handed, right? Yeah.
shooter. And so I like my arrow to come out to where it's tearing paper. It's gonna be backwards on camera. So when it's going through paper, it's kicking. That'd be to the left.
Yeah.
So it's kicking high left. I like that. Kicking high left.
Yep.
And then it just seems to put it's how is it? Everyone go to Rio Wild's YouTube page, and he has a whole video of how to properly tune a bow to where it actually groups.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yep. Yep. So you don't make it perfect. You make it to where it groups.
Yeah, that's good to know. So,
Because you want to be able to, it's called like steering the arrow.
yep. Okay. So
Instead of making it just shoot perfect.
I remember seeing a clip from Paige Pierce, and seems like she was bear shaft tuning, and she had her bear shafts, and she's at like 30 yards or 50 yards or something,
She goes back to 60 sometimes.
60. And then I remember she said on a lot of her setups, her bear shaft, or maybe it's her fletch, would be hitting like low right of the other group. And that's like seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of her different setups.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same bow to bow, arrow to arrow, or what.
Yeah, my big thing is I just get my bow to where it's set up for me and comfortable. The knock is not pinching, and then just start going through my arrows that I have and group tuning with arrows. And so I go through and find what arrow that bow likes, and then I'll just use that arrow and then do that plus or minus poundage. just to see if I can make that group shrink. Because that's the goal, is to have like golf ball size group at 100
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah. So, um,
I mean, they're not all going to be in that golf ball size, but you want, out of a dozen arrows, you want at least 8 in that group.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that's what wins trucks. But
Yeah.
are you doing this to your hunting bow too?
For the most part, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I
I want a little cleaner tear on the paper, and definitely shoot a bare shaft at 20 to where it hits, within a half inch of my fletch. And then that's about, because you want the broadhead flight to be good, and you don't want any slap to where it's, when it hits the
yeah,
target, it has a slap to it, a kick, because you want that broadhead to go all the way through
straight
the
through.
deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't wanna lose any.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
that makes
I mean,
sense.
that's the goal. If it groups like this or like this at 100, I feel like that's good, because I'm not gonna take too many shots at 100 at an animal.
Yeah. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
would be like maybe a deer. If you got the perfect conditions, maybe deer. I don't think I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the archer. Depends how good they are.
Yeah. I know of a guy that shot a whitetail at 105 yards.
Oh, wow.
Was pushing it because he wasn't that great of a shot,
It's a
but
long ways. Yeah, yeah.
apparently he's attempted it once and was
It
successful once.
worked.
So
Yeah. I was fortunate enough punching out tag in Wyoming a few years ago at 94 yards, and it hit the opposite shoulder and broke that shoulder because it was plowing when it was leaving. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's
it
awesome.
was a good shot.
Yeah, I know. So back to the caribou shots, you've got this Reinhardt caribou target, and I know this target inside and out. Like I've
Mhm.
studied, it, I've measured the rings. I that it's 10.5 inches from the belly up to the 11 ring. It's
Yep.
like I got this thing dialed in. And like when I'm sighted in, I can put almost every arrow on the 10, like
Yeah.
without wind, without any abnormalities there. But I feel like I could shoot an elk at 100, but I'm always wary. Like even when I was duck hunting this yesterday, it was like I'm so used to deer hunting and like waiting for the perfect opportunity. But when you're shooting ducks and you're shooting BBs and steel, it's like I had a duck at 25 yards maybe. I'm shooting a 12 gauge with steel in it, and but it was through a little bit of brush. And in hindsight, I should have definitely shot through it.
You got 3 shells, right?
Yeah,
Use
and
them all. That's
I
what I say. Use them all.
I was waiting for I was waiting for to come out behind this brush and they never did. And it was like I should have absolutely taken that shot. It was looking back, it was a perfect shot for a shotgun, where you're spraying pellets. But
Yeah.
I was just so used to deer hunting, like you gotta wait till I step out from behind the brush for not for ducks. Like I don't know. It would have to be a very, very, very perfect shot for me to shoot at an animal over probably 60 yards, but it'd be a rarity. But
But I mean, as well trained you are, and well, as much time as you put into your equipment, I feel like you're good. You're good out to 100 M for an animal, especially out west.
yeah,
Out west, they spend a little more time looking at you. I mean, like a pronghorn, I feel like if I was gearing up for a pronghorn hunt or antelope hunt, out west, I'd want to make sure that I'm dialed in for 120.
120.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Like I want to make sure that, like, I'm comfortable at that. Probably wouldn't shoot one at 120, but definitely 115.
yeah. I'd say if there's a pronghorn or something standing at 111 yards and I range him.
So enough to shoot a couple mule deer in the under. I feel
Yeah,
like if you're out west hunting mule deer, you want to be 100 yards. You want to be dialed in for 100. Not necessarily you're going to be shooting animals at 100, but you're going to be ready for those 80-yard shots.
yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
feel like it's not easy, but that's where most of your shots are, between 75 and probably 95. You know, you have a good chance of getting that close to the animal out west.
Farthest shot I've got from my tree stands here, like I might have two or three spots I'm thinking of is like 30 yards max. Like there's just brush and stuff.
Oh, where I
I
was,
can't.
where they put me, everything was like, you had 70, 80-yard shots all over.
Yeah, I guess down that. Yeah,
Down there.
from there you.
I'm not taking them on whitetails, but definitely there's plenty of long range shooting down there on that river bottom,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
creek
know
bottom,
some.
whatever you call it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's good to know. Well, It's getting late, Travis.
It's late. It's time to hit the road.
Yeah, you're hitting the road. So we tried to get him to stay for the front Wednesday.
The front, but it's too much. I gotta get home to the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good time this
Well,
weekend.
thank you so much. Really appreciate
Great
it.
hunt. Thank you for coming
Yeah.
on. How can people find you? Are you on
Oh,
Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook?
My Instagram is still there. You can Trav _you _Johnson. It's still there.
Still there? Yeah. So if
Yeah.
they really need you, they can find you there. They
Once in
can
a while,
go through me too.
go through Mason. Yep. You can reach out or go through Ohio bow hunting, Ohio whitetails.
Yeah. Yeah. Bow hunting high whitetails.
Go through there and track me down.
That's right. Perfect. Well, I appreciate you coming on
Yeah.
this episode. We'll do it
Thanks,
again
everyone.
sometime.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be here.
See ya.